wrist functions in 4 different directions. It doesn't twist. The elbow twists because the radius comes over the ulna, and that's why it's called the radius bone. This bone that's right along here, it pivots in the elbow, so the wrist is not actually twisting. The elbow twists, the forearm, but the wrist is not twisting. I say that so you'll get an idea of the ranges of motion of the wrist. Now, first range of motion is flexion. The second range of motion is extension. Then you have the ulna here, so the wrist will deviate in the direction of the ulna. PTs, physical therapists will call this ulnar deviation. And then the radius bone up here, you have radial deviation. Now, getting used to some of this terminology will help later, because for some of the joint locks and chokes that we use, radial and ulnar deviation increase the pressure. So, flexion is when the palm is pressing toward the elbow. Extension is when the back of the knuckles are pressing toward the elbow. Then ulnar deviation is when the wrist is being pressed sideways toward the ulna. And then radial deviation is when the wrist is being pushed sideways toward the radius. There's our basic terminology for wrist locks, and we'll be referring to those as radial locks, ulnar locks, extension locks, and flexion locks.